Hello, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel that is dedicated for English literature students. Here's a video for BA third semester students, British and American drama. Unit 1 Drama Types. In this unit, we have to learn these topics: tragedy and its types, comedy and its types, tragicomedy, expressionist drama, drama of ideas, poetic drama, closet drama, problem play, theatre of absurd. Now, coming to the first part: tragedy. Tragedy is a dramatic genre that depicts the suffering and downfall of the protagonist, often due to a combination of fate, personal flaws, and societal pressures. The term tragedy is originated from the Greek word tragoidia, which means goat song. Greek tragedians like Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides are some of the earliest and most influential writers in this genre. Aristotle defined tragedy is an imitation of an action that is serious, complete, and of a certain magnitude in language embellished with each kind of artistic ornament, the several kinds being found in separate parts of the play, in the forms of action, not of narrative, through pity and fear, effecting the proper catharsis or purgation of these emotions. There are five main types of tragedy: first, Greek or classical tragedy; second, romantic tragedy; third, drama of ideas or problem play; fourth, heroic tragedy; fifth, domestic tragedy. Now, 1. Greek or classical tragedy. Introduction. Tragedy simply means a serious play depicting tragic conflicts and unhappy ending. It often involves the death of the tragic hero. Tragedy was born in ancient Greece. Some major tragic poets of Greek tragedy are: 1. Aeschylus, that is pronounced as Eccles. The first great tragic poet was Aeschylus. His famous tragedies include Prometheus Bound, The Suppliants, Agamemnon, and Eumenides. His tragedies were marked by the dominance of the chorus. 2. Sophocles. Sophocles was the next important writer of tragedy in Greece. He increased the number of actors. He made his tragedies more human and less heroic than those of Aeschylus. His characters appear in their ideal form. His famous tragedies include Oedipus the King, Oedipus at Colonus, Electra, etc. 3. Euripides. The tragedies of Euripides are realistic, and the characters represented in them are realistic. His famous tragedies are Helen, Hecuba, Hippolytus, Antigone, Electra, etc. Characteristics of Greek tragedy. In Greek tragedies, we do not see the death of the tragic hero or heroine. The place of Euripides shows that sometimes God interfere in human affairs and disturb human plans and actions. When the hero of a tragedy broke the given natural or moral law, he was punished, and it was supposed to be the doing of God. The stories of Greek tragedies were already known to the audience. 2. Romantic tragedy. Romantic tragedy deals with matters remote from the interest of ordinary life, with the fates and fortunes of more or less illustrious persons, like kings, princes, journals, or great public leaders. The works of Elizabethan and Stuart playwrights and Shakespeare are categorized as a romantic tragedy. Shakespearean tragedies are mainly concerned with the struggles and misfortunes of kings, princesses, great journals, or persons of public figure or importance. Romantic tragedy is primarily the tragedy of character. In this type of tragedy, it is hero himself who, by some guilty act or error of judgment or defect in his character, creates events which bring about his ultimate ruin. Tragic hero is the inevitable rebound of his own act or error. It is Macbeth's inordinate ambition which brings tragedy in his life. Lear suffers from his error of judgment as revealed in his hasty and fast decision to divide his kingdom on the protestations of love. Though romantic tragedies are those of characters, fate, fortune, and accidents, or chance are not completely eliminated from their tragic universe. Features of romantic tragedy. Romantic tragedy is noted for its violation of so called dramatic unities. Its actions extends over years, and scene moves freely from town to town, from village to village, from country to country. The romantic dramatists introduce comic interludes in their tragedies. Romantic tragedy sanctioned the use of subplots and subordinate incidents and characters. In romantic tragedy, the scene of violence, horror, murders, bloodshed, and battles are freely shown on the stage. Romantic tragedy bids goodbye to the chorus, and its functions are done by minor characters and soliloquists. Romantic tragedy is generally divided into five acts. Conclusion. In short, romantic tragedy deals with the fates and fortunes of great personality. A romantic tragedy is a drama that deals with a notable protagonist placed in a highly stressful situation that leads to a fatal conclusion. The protagonist grows in self awareness and knowledge of human nature, though he can't wait halt his disaster. Drama of ideas or problem play. Problem play deals with real social problems. The term drama of ideas was developed by Ibsen in 1880. Shaw and Galsworthy in England followed the example of Ibsen and wrote significant problem plays. These dramatists raised social problems, discussed them, and tried to suggest solutions. Shaping influences. The revival of drama took place because the European dramatists began to look at things in unorthodox ways. In this connection, the contribution of Ibsen, the dramatist, is of great importance. It was he who established a new type of play which dealt with social problems such as new approaches. His plays are thought provoking and realistic. It was this type of play which came to be known as problem play or drama of ideas. Ibsen's important plays include A Doll's House, The Wild Duck, Pillars of Society. George Bernard Shaw, G.B. Shaw, attacks romantic idealism. His important plays include Arms and the Man, Getting Married, and Canada. Heroic tragedy. Heroic tragedy is a genre of drama that emerged during the Restoration period in England. It combines elements of classical tragedy with the grandiose, often idealized themes of heroism and nobility. Here are the key characteristics and some notable examples. Notable heroes and heroines, exalted language, conflict of duty and passion, epic themes, moral absolutes, spectacular scenes, tragic ending, domestic tragedy. The 18th century saw the rise of a new type of tragedy called the domestic tragedy, which attempted to use the characters and incidents of ordinary life as the subject of serious drama. George Lillo's London Merchant is a famous example. These types of plays were written in prose, not in verse. Important terms. Hamartia. It is a Greek term which means error of judgment. It was used by Aristotle in his book Poetics. He says that the hero suffers because of a mistake to which he is led by his hamartia. Sometimes the term has been translated as tragic flaws. In the Greek tragedies, one common form of hamartia was hubris or pride. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, the inordinate ambition was the tragic flaw which led to his ultimate death. Catharsis. The term catharsis was used by Aristotle in his book Poetics while discussing the function of tragedy. Catharsis generally means purgation or purification. See you soon, guys. Comedy and its types in next part.